Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and for today we're going to continue our Necromunda project. That's right, episode 12, and this will actually be a part in an episode, if you're following me. Now, I was first contemplating with building a big tile that's going to contain my Gang Stronghold, but I figured I'm going to slice it up into parts, with today being part 1, and I'm going to be making the gateway with the walls. So that's what we're going to be building today. Alright, so if you're interested in that and you want to see how I made it, and you want to make a couple of them yourself, follow me to the crafting table and let's do this! Yeah! Also, again, everyone, thank you very much for the 1,000+ subscribers. It really means a lot. It really does. I didn't know and didn't expect for it to go that fast, and I really appreciate all of you watching, all of you subscribing, liking, commenting on my videos. Thank you guys very much. Without you guys, Necromunda project would not even exist. Alright? Thank you very much for that. And with that said, let's go to the crafting table and let's do this thing. Follow me, guys. Alright, my friends, let's kick off another Necromunda craft. And we're gonna begin by 2 pieces of tin foam board that are 15 centimeters in length and 10 centimeters in height. These will be our wall sections. Now I'm just building the 2 walls. Now we're going to create some I-beams using the same tin foam board that is 1 centimeter wide and 15 centimeters long. And you're going to need three of those tin strips per I-beam, and you're going to need 2 I-beams, so 6 strips we're going to need. 1 for each wall section, like this. Now we're going to make another one that is 8 centimeters in height, and you're going to need 4 of those and 1 centimeter in width. You're going to need 4, 2 for each wall section. Just cut them out as well. This will be the basis of our wall section. Now for a walkway, I'm going to use a thicker 5mm foam board that is 5 centimeters in width and 15 centimeters in length, and you're going to need 2. Or 20 if you're going to make 20 wall sections, but I'm sticking to 2. You could also use double corrugated cardboard to create these things. I'm just using the foam board as I have it. Now we're going to glue the I-beams together in the same way as I did for my factory build, and we're going to do that for all of them. It goes very easy, very quick. Now we're going to combine these with our wall. And this is the wall section, and as you've noticed before, I've marked out 2 centimeters on the back, and that is where I will be gluing my walkway to. 2 centimeters from the top. Like this. And glue the smaller I-beams underneath them as the support strut for the walkway. Like this. Now take the large I-beam and place it on top, and I'm gonna mark out in between the spaces of the 2 smaller I-beams like this, and I'm gonna cut these extra parts. I'm gonna cut them off. You could pre-measure it, but I never pre-measure, so I do it this way. I'm just gonna glue that in between like so. Now do both wall sections at once, it saves a lot of time, or if you're gonna make 20, do 20 at once. Now we're gonna cover the wall in corrugated paper for detailing, so it will be corrugated metal, and make sure the pieces overlap to create a rougher look to it. I mean, it is Necromunda and nothing is ever all that clean in there. Just follow along, and as I do here. Taking a piece of plastic mesh as a metal grating to stick to the wall. Do both sides though, and don't forget the top of the walkway either. Cover the entire wall section with this. Now we're gonna cut some cardstock squares to fit on the walkway. On the other wall section I used some drywall mesh tape, and yeah, just to make it a bit more variable, make it look different. Now with the hole punch here, I'm creating rivets in the cardstock. It's a very quick and easy technique to create quick rivets. I love this technique. I cut off a few pieces to make them a little smaller, as you see here, to get a little bit of spacing in between the panels. And I simply hot glue that on. And you can see our wall section taking shape. Now clear off all the wisps. I'm gonna need two. And here I'm using a piece of plastic tennis racket to create the ladders. And I'm gonna create a ladder for each wall section as well. Clip off the extra parts with some clippers. And I'm gonna hot glue the ladder to the wall, as you see here. Just simply by using some hot glue. Those tennis rackets are awesome to create ladders. It's the fastest technique I have ever seen. Now we're gonna build a double door for our stronghold. And for this I'm gonna cut out two pieces of 5mm foam board that are 10 centimeters in width and 12 centimeters in height. And you're gonna need two of them, as you see here. Now do the same with 4 pieces of cardstock, 2 pieces for each door, 10 centimeters by 12 centimeters. Now I'm gonna draw lines diagonally from corner to corner on all the 4 pieces, and I'm gonna mark out 1 centimeter, as you see me do here, on all the sides, and I'm gonna connect those lines. Just follow along as I do here. And on the center parts, 1/2 centimeter from each line. And draw the lines as well. Now I'm gonna cut out the 4 inner triangles on all the 4 pieces of the cardstock. It will represent metal banding on the metal doors, just to give it some extra flavor, some extra detail. And I'm gonna press out the triangles and it will look like this. Now also making rivets with our hole punch. The more details the better. Now make 4 of them, as I said, and we're gonna glue them on the door. I'm simply using some white glue. It will dry instantly almost, so just slide it into place. Do the same on the back side. Slide it into place, and like this we have our our two doors, sorry. Alright, let's build a mechanism to open and close the doors. You'll need 2 paper drinking straws and 2 wooden dowels that fit inside of the paper drinking straws. And that will be a way to make the doors open and close. And I'm gonna mark out 12 centimeters on the drinking straws, and then I'm gonna cut them simply with some scissors. These are the dowels and they fit perfectly, and as you can see I can rotate the paper drinking straw around the dowel. I do cut off the sharp tip of the barbecue skewer. Now also I'm gonna create a base first before I glue them. Thin foam board that is 11 centimeters in length and 3 centimeters wide. And I'm gonna hot glue the wooden dowel on the edge of this base. You're gonna need 2 of these bases, 1 for each door. Will look like this. Now glue the paper drinking straw to the side of the door, and do that on both doors, but just be sure to make to glue them on opposite sides. Well, it doesn't really matter because you can flip the doors any which way you want, but do this for both doors. And as you can see, it opens and it closes. It opens and it closes. And there stands one door. And now I'm gonna do both doors. I'm gonna glue them on some cardstock. Just make sure the edges of the base are glued together, as you see here. And then with my knife I'm gonna cut around the excess cardstock. And now I have my double doors that can open and close, as you see. There we go. It will look like this now. Our modular Gang Stronghold door with wall section. This is one part, and here is the other part that I mentioned, with the drywall mesh tape and an extra piece of corrugated metal. Now, time to paint it. First we spray it all black and then a thick overbrush with a brown paint, as I basically do in all my Necromunda crafts. So let's get into the flash mode and start painting this thing. Do that for all the sections, both walls, the doors as well. Now I'm gonna do the same, and I'm gonna use some dry brush all the pieces with a silver paint. Stipple it on, dry brush it on, whatever makes it look cool to you. Cover it all. Now I'm gonna overbrush all the I-beams with a red paint, and I'm gonna start by picking out some panels I want to be red as well. Like this. Now I'm speeding this up because, well, painting is painting. And you don't have to match my color scheme, just pick something that you like. Now I'm gonna do the same with a green color. And I'm gonna pick out some panels that I want painted green as well. Going back into the flash mode again. This is the definition of speed painting. Don't forget the inside. Now I'm gonna do the same with a yellow and with a blue. But of course, pick any kind of color that you prefer. It doesn't really matter. I like a variety of colors on this. It gives it some more definition. I really love this blue. If you spill over on anything, it doesn't matter, we can cover that up with rust later. Now I'm gonna paint the inner parts of the door with this blue as well. And basically it's just because it matches my paint scheme I use for my Necromunda terrain. But you can use whatever you want, you can make it white, red, you can even leave it as it is. But I really like this blue. I like the contrast it gives with the rusted effects. Alright, time to finish this piece with some rust. I stipple on brown paint, then orange, and finish it off by scraping a pastel to add more texture to it. So first with the brown paint, stippling all over. As you've seen me do in all my crafts. For Necromunda, that is. And I'm gonna stipple over it with a bright orange. And here you can see it all come together. Going over the ladder as well. Now before I put on the pastel texture, I glue a hazard stripe I printed and painted to the door of the base of the door. Just using some tacky glue, water it down, stick on the strip, and I'm gonna use some watered down PVA to lock that into place. Now, before I'm gonna do the pastel, I wet the surface of everywhere I want these pastels to stick on. Cheap, very cheap pastels. Should buy a new box because I'm running out. But with a wet brush, I'm gonna go everywhere I want the pastel to be. And it really creates a nice, awesome texture of rust. Just tap off the excess as well. I've used this technique as well on several other of my builds. Just with a wet brush, go over it. There you go. Nice. Really looks cool. And it also matches very well with the rest of my terrain. Now let's have a look at that, and I can show you how it looks with all the things we've built before. So here we have the wall sections with the double door, and in the back you can see the big factory build, and I've set them on with another one of those walls and columns, and I've placed them onto the tiles that we've made. As you can see, the door opens nicely. Matches cool with the columns. Going around the piece, looking at the other side, the ladder. open door. Really looks like a nice entrance to a Gang Stronghold. But we're gonna be making a lot more pieces to complete our Gang Stronghold. Now this is just part 1 of this build. It is finished, but I'm gonna create also a watchtower, some shacks where they live in, a shack where the boss lives in, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So yeah, thank you all very much again for watching and for all your support. I appreciate all of you, and if you like this content, please leave a like and consider subscribing. It really helps out this channel a lot. Thank you all very much, and I do hope you enjoyed this video, guys. And stay tuned for more to come, because Necromunda builds are far from over. Alright, I will see you on the next run.